You're listening to the Next Gen Prophets podcast, and we're your spiritual parents,
Craig
and Colette Toach. We're accelerating you. We're building you up. And today, we're giving you the inside scoop. You know, as Craig and I work with so many leaders, and even some leaders have us come into their churches and work with their teams, I've come to recognize that there are some very particular characteristics that every leader looks for. And for those prophets who have risen up in their churches, I promise you when I say they can check off all 10 of these characteristics. Now, I don't want this list to intimidate you. We're trying to be your spiritual parents here. We're not trying to bully you. But I also want to encourage you because prophets, you are further along and you've got more to bring to the table than you realize. You know, a lot of pastors look at prophets and they just see the noise. They see our charisma, they see our big mouth, but what not a lot of them see is really how underneath it all, we are desperate to please the Lord.
Yes.
And actually, dare I say, a little bit insecure. By the way, even though because we're rejected every 5 minutes, doesn't mean we like it.
That's right.
Nobody likes being shut down. Nobody likes being pushed aside. And so every one of us has this spiritual DNA to want to serve and want to please. Now, if you realize that that is core to your prophetic DNA and you develop that instead of hiding that, prophet, you will, I promise you, be able to check off all 10 of these. And as we go through them, I really hope that you can check them off. But if there are any of these points that you are struggling with and you cannot check off as we teach you today, I want you to go to nextgenprophets.org. You see that little chat box there? I want you to chat one of my team. And I want you to share the struggle that you're having, because even though we're here every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we meet with all of our tribe, for those of you who are our tribe and listening, we meet with you and we impart to you, there should be this one thing you know about us. We want to be there to help you through your process. It's why we keep training up team. So we have enough people to be there for you in your process. We want to help you through.
Yes. You know, Colette, as you're speaking, I see this vision and I see how this branch has had this weight put on it and it started to break. And now it's not sheared off completely, but it's just enough. And that's what I feel is like for you, prophet. You are trying to embrace this calling. You're trying to embrace the leadership. You're trying to stand in that position that God's called you. But you know what? If the pressure comes on at the wrong angle, you're going to break. And that's why what we're trying to do today is give you a heads up. Because when you allow these pressures to push you in the right way, it strengthens you.
Ooh, that's good.
And that's where we're trying to get at. It's not to make you insecure and to think, oh my goodness, I can't do this. No, it's not about that. It's about putting you in a pressure. Because, you know, the Lord once told me, he said, will you allow me to put pressures on you that I want to develop you in? He said, because if you don't, other pressures will come and those pressures will form your character. And when that happens, the enemy has a foothold in your character. And you, prophet, you're a prophet. You don't want the enemy near you. So why would you want him in your foundation too? So let's do this. Let's go through these steps. Let's go through and see where you can allow the Lord to apply these pressures for you to get better, to grow, to be stronger, and then to stand alongside that leader of yours, because that's what he needs. You know, for me as a leader, I need as many champions. How many mighty men did David have? Well, me as a leader, I need those champions by my side too. I'm coming under a lot of attack from the system, from everywhere. And it's like, if I have those champions at my back, I know that whatever step I take for the Lord, I've got people there that are going to help me and push me forward too.
Who? And you and I both know, Craig, that these prophets that are listening to us, they're champions.
They are champions.
And I think you're going to be surprised to see how many of these you can tick off because you're further along the way.
Yes.
As a lot of it's organic.
Yes.
But some of it you might not realize you have. And so for those weak points, consider this your challenge. Consider that godly pressure. I love what you said, Craig, about the Father saying, can I put pressure on you to build your character? Because Satan will put pressure on you to shape and break your character. So please do take this pressure. Consider us those spiritual parents who are going to say it straight to you, and allow that pressure to make you stronger so that you can be a champion at the back of any apostle or any pastor that needs you. All right, let's get to our list, shall we? Number 1, a prophet that is trusted and loved by his leader speaks with wisdom. And tactfully. There's that word again. We've done a couple of podcasts just on tact because it's so important. But you know what reminds me of Daniel 6, verse 4? This is how they viewed Daniel. And this is how God views you, prophet. So the governors and satraps sought to find some charge against Daniel concerning the kingdom. But they could find no charge or fault because, he was faithful, nor was there any error or fault found in him. Now look at this. He found favor with the king. And this might seem a bit of a sidetrack, but track with me here, prophet. He found favor with the king, and all of his buddies in the same court didn't like that he was the king's favorite, so they started ganging up on him. But guess what? Because he had these 10 points, they could do nothing. I know that there are some of you in the system that are coming under a lot of a pressure from jealousies of people who are backbiting. And I need you to remove yourself from that distraction. Yes. Daniel didn't spend his time trying to prove himself to the people who didn't believe in him. Daniel had these 10 characteristics that made him a champion in the court of the king. So let me shift you here, prophet. Stop complaining and stop fighting those who are jealous of you, who are trying to tear you down. Let them be them. That sounds like a them problem.
That's right.
Great. In the meantime, you and I, we're just going to be champions. Thank you very much. So number 1, you speak with wisdom, tactfully. Number 2, you're a giver. This one's huge. Let me tell you something about my team. They are all givers. And I don't just mean financially. Finances are the easiest way to give.
Yes, they are.
They are givers in that they have other orientation. When they walk into a building, it can be a church building or a business building. They say, God, why am I here? And who do you need me to bless today?
Yes.
Do you need me to give a word? Do you need me to sweep the floors? Do you need me to invest financially? Do you need me to carry somebody's books? What do you need me to do? They walk into every situation ready to pour out. I'm a very blessed apostle. I'm just going to brag on my team a little bit here.
Yes.
Every single one of them are 100% givers in every capacity. And it's because of that I lean so heavily on them.
That's right. You know, prophet, if you can just understand this, that is one of the greatest signs of maturity. And that's what we need in the body of Christ. We need prophets. We've had too many young prophets who have not gone through the training, who have been put in positions, and they've made a bad name for us. Come on, guys, that's where it's at. We're not against them. We're praying for them so that they will find that maturity, because when you stand in maturity, you're not looking at what you're going to get. It's other orientation, and that is the greatest weapon that we can use to bless God's people.
Yeah.
When you have that other orientation, you're walking in everywhere. You look at the leader, how can I help you? You look at the people, how can I help you? You're looking at the scenario and the environment. Oh, the place is dirty. You know what? That is a servanthood attitude that we can do to bless God's people.
Yeah, because, doing those things isn't just an act of service. It's an act of character.
Yes.
You have the character of a giver, and leaders can sniff it out. I have a number of leaders even in our schools, and I can always tell that they're the leaders. They're the ones that can step into a completely new church and get promoted almost immediately.
Yeah.
What is it that leader sniffs out in them that they get promoted right away? Oh, this point right here, number 2, they're givers.
Yes.
Because they have a giver mentality. The leader immediately trusts them because they know they're not in it for what they're going to get,
Exactly.
but they're in it for what they can give. So good. I know we've got a lot of givers here on this microphone because I got so much
They're
revelation
next-gen
there.
prophets.
Yes, they are. Number 3, you go above and beyond what's asked of you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You get some people that walk into your life and say, you should just be happy that I even showed up. And I'd be like, you should just be so happy. The door is a short walk away. There it is, my friend. Like, do not, prophet of God, do me any favors, because I've got another 20 prophets here that are willing to go above and beyond what God requires of them. So, yeah, guys, if you think that just doing the job, well, I did what he asked me to do, is cause for promotion, then you didn't get the memo. It's not cause for promotion, it's a cause to belong. If you want promotion, go above and beyond.
Colette, let's be honest with you. People that go over and above, you see their heart. People who just do it because they have a gift and they can do it right now. It's like, well, then you could go to another church and do that. But when I see your heart in it, that's what shines the light on you, and it makes me want to use you, because we want people that love our calling, our ministry as much as we do.
Yeah, it's like they buy into our vision. They buy into our ministry. It's as much theirs and ours. And of course, that we as leaders are going above and beyond all the time, because we believe. So when we feel like we've got a kindred spirit, when a prophet comes along and I ask them to go 1 mile and they go 2. I'm like, I love you. Come here, let me give you a hug. All right, but I got to move on because we got a couple other points. Number 4, you're well studied within your realm of appointment. Let me make myself clear. So if you are in the intercessors group, how many books are you reading on prayer?
Yeah.
Or you're just waiting like a little baby bird with a mama bird to come with the worm and feed you every prayer time? Or even best, okay, we are a little lazy like this prophets. We just wait for the Holy Spirit to do it all.
Oh, goodness, yes.
Okay, if you are on the deliverance team, how much study are you doing on deliverance? Are you going to conferences? Are you on YouTube at least? Although I should warn you about YouTube.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
But then again, I have some YouTube teaching. So just be, use wisdom.
Discernment.
Yeah, discernment. That's the word. Discernment with YouTube. Yeah. But but seriously though, how much are you studying? Which realm do you minister in? What's your team? Are you in the host team? Okay, I don't do much. I'm just in the hospitality team. All right, what's your latest new recipe? I mean, are you studying how to cook?
Can you make animals out of the serviettes?
Yes, the little napkins. Yeah, the little animals. Oh my goodness, I love the little animals.
See what I'm saying?
That's true. I had a house cleaner come by and help me out, and she did this fancy little thing with my toilet roll. It blessed my heart. I know it sounds crazy, but above and beyond, she studied toilet paper figurines.
Origami.
It's just, wow, who does that? But you know what? I hired her again. I hired her because of the toilet paper. Prophets, come on. Are you studied? Whatever your job is.
And I hope you get what we're trying to say, you guys. It's even the smallest things that can make the difference.
Yeah.
You're trying so hard to compete with everybody around you. You can't compete against them because they are going to be better at certain things. But when your heart is correct and you go over and above, that's what stands out. It's the little things that the leaders see.
What books are you reading at the moment? What course are you studying? What conference did you go to? Wherever you're positioned, I hope that you're studying to get better. I hope you're getting more anointed every day, prophet. But I'm going to have to say you are, because you're listening to this podcast. So I think you all can tick that one off, okay? But can you tick off number 5? Your prophecies are timely and accurate. Yes. Yes, okay. So it doesn't matter if you do all those things and you open your mouth and give a cockamamie prophetic word. It just kills your reputation. It has to be said. We have taught so much on prophecy, how to bring prophecy, how to receive a prophecy. So I'm not going to go into that, but come on. Be timely and accurate with your prophetic words. Don't be all offended with your pastor because he don't want to promote you in the prophetic ministry. And you can say, but I'm so well studied in prayer, but your prophecies are a bunch of nonsense. No, guys, come on. Let's raise the bar on the prophetic.
And I love that timely, because you know what, prophet? We've had it so many times. A team member will, after we've ministered, say, oh, by the way, the Lord gave me a word. I'm like, that was a timely. It was a now.
Handy,
it would have been handy when we were seeking revelation and saying, has anybody got a word? And you said, yes, I do. And you spoke forward, because that's when that time was.
No. They wait until the Holy Spirit is lifted.
Yes.
All the tears are dried. You're wanting to move on to the next part of the service where you're like, I think we're ready to close now. And then that late prophet step up and be like, I got a word from God. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm glad.
That was 5 minutes ago.
It was, how about about 5 hours ago.
that too.
Let's
Yeah,
not do that to God's
please,
people.
guys,
Don't do
please.
that to your apostle.
We love you, but please,
you know who
come
I'm
on.
talking to, my team. You know it. Bring it, Tanya. All right. Number 6. That was definitely an inside joke. You're going to have to chat us to find out who we're referring to.
Go on chat and ask who we're talking about.
Yeah. So, number 6. You're ready to apologize when you miss it.
Oh, goodness, yes.
Don't underestimate the power of humility.
Yes.
Don't expect your pastor, your apostle, or even your peers to apologize if you can't. Practice apologies. Start with your kids, your spouse, your boss. Practice apology. It is a practiced skill. You don't need revelation to apologize. You don't need us to be thunderstruck from heaven to apologize. It's just a simple service of humility.
Yes.
And as leaders, we can sniff out someone who has humility. You know how that is? It's someone who knows how to apologize when they missed it. Number 7, you stand for your convictions. You aren't a pushover.
Yeah.
Listen carefully. Leaders respect strength.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy? Because I just said to you, you have to be humble. Now I'm telling you, you have to be strong. Yes, because we're strong, sometimes we make mistakes. When we make mistakes, we say, I'm sorry. And when you come with that attitude to a leader, they go, a man just like me, a woman just like me.
Yes.
You think like I think, because they're not in that leadership position by chance.
No.
There are times that they had to stand up for what they believed against all the hordes of hell and every popular opinion. And there are also times where they messed up and they had to apologize. So when you come with that attitude, I promise you, prophet, they're going to want you in their corner because they see someone who's genuine, who's not always just leaning on their revelation, but has the character to back up that revelation.
And please, prophet, use tact when doing this.
Yes.
Because I know for myself, when I was younger, a younger prophet, I would go in there with all that passion and I would come across all pushy and put the leaders back up. And it was because I did not use the tact and I did not use my wording correctly to give across what the Holy Spirit was trying to tell me.
We've got 3 more points. How many of you ticked off so far? This one is a little tongue-in-cheek. When you're left in charge, leadership returns to a well-behaved ministry. Now, because we did so much traveling every now and again, we'd have to leave our kids with somebody overnight, more so with our youngest, Michael, at the moment. And I can always tell if he was under good leadership when I come home.
It's true.
He either acting like a demon out of hell, or he's the most well-behaved, sweet child that missed mom and dad. Guess who I'm putting in charge next time?
Yep.
Come on, to all those parents out there, you know what I'm talking about. You send your child away to preschool or you have somebody watch over them and you come home and you're like, oh my goodness, I need to re-anoint my entire house and do deliverance on my child because why? Yeah, if that happens every time your pastors leave and you have any play in the leadership and they come back and everything's going wrong in the ministry, that's not a good sign.
No.
But if you're put in charge and you stick to their rules and they come back and the ministry is well behaved, guess who they're putting in charge next time?
Yeah.
Don't see it as an opportunity to change everything you always wanted to change because your pastor went away for the weekend. That's another podcast, but just please tick that off.
Yes.
I so desperately need you to tick that off. Number 9, you have metrics within your appointment. And by that, I mean, if you're on the prayer team, are the prayers being answered? You see, I don't see the point, little rant, just brace yourselves. I don't see the point of having a prayer team that never gets answered prayer.
That's true.
Then you're not studying or you're unanointed or you are in the wrong team. But metrics really do count.
Yes.
So if you are replaced by someone else, it could be you had no metrics. If you're on the deliverance team, take a wild guess what your metrics should be. Demons should flee, okay? You're on like the deliverance team.
That's right.
People should be delivered from their demons. Healing team, what do you think they need? Come on. Yes, I know I'm being a bit snarky here, but sometimes I'm just like, why are we even having these teams if there are no metrics? And then there's one little team that finally gets those metrics and that team gets promoted. Why? Because simply put, they're doing what they were put there to do. What should your metric be?
If you're not having metrics, there could be 2 reasons. Number 1, you either need prayer because there's a blockage and you're not being effective, or you're just in the wrong team.
Yeah.
And you know something, as a leader, if somebody comes to me and says, listen, I know you put me in this team. I know that I'm not getting any metrics. I really believe I'm in the wrong one. You know, Can you please put me in another team, or can I try out in this team? You know, as a leader, I respect that person because they see their weaknesses and they're not trying to hide it. And so I'm going to give them that chance.
Do you need a team shift? Well, like I said, you can chat any of our team with any of these points, okay? nextgenprophets.org. Now, I've left the best for last. And when I say best, it's my personal best. I know other leaders out there might not consider this the best, but in my experience with the leaders I have worked with, this singular point is more important than all other 9. And if you're not doing this one, prophet, start here. You're the first to get your leaders back in prophetic prayer and decree.
Oh, goodness, yes.
Guys, God is situating us in literally rooms full of pastors at the moment. The way the Lord's just navigated Craig and I in this last year or so. And honest to goodness, nearly every single one, their greatest struggle is this. They are spiritually uncovered at their back.
Yes.
They do not have prophetic warriors at their back praying them through. Now, I've given some teaching on how to pray. You can go and get the podcast. But the most important thing is that you're praying for them and that you're sharing with them what you're seeing. Sometimes all a leader needs is, I was praying and I saw this vision. Done and done. I was praying, I sensed attack, I'm praying you through, I got your back.
Yes.
This doesn't need to be all profound, but that ministry means more to us than you can ever realize. The power of your prayer, prophet, is one that I crave, I desire, and I need 24 hours a day. And I wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't my team praying me through, getting my back in prayer. It's one thing to prophesy and it's another thing to study well. Yes, all of these points, but to get my back in prayer and make sure Satan doesn't take me out is more valuable than all 10 points put together.
You've heard all 10. Guys, where do you fit in? You're the champion. If you've got all 10, you've got all the weapons you need to have your pastors back and to go forward.
We are here to accelerate you, to build you up. In case you didn't notice, there's like whole revivals and stuff going on. The part that you play is more essential than you realize. Craig and I would like to invite you to join our tribe, nextgenprophets.org. If you see that little button that says join our tribe, click on that link, find out what it's going to take. But we need to be ready for what God has planned for his church. We need to build the kingdom together. And the more prophets we have together spearheading that move, the better. We are birthing a revival, prophets, that's not going to fizzle out in 5 seconds flat.
Amen.
We are going to continue to see this through to the next generation. We're spearheading it. Come and join us. Come and be a part. We're here for you every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we will see you next week.
See you guys.